point when people talk about submissiveness, they always say you have to follow the husband as
Well,
the
it's not what the
husband.
scripture says. The scripture says that women submit to your husbands as husbands submit to Christ.
See, that's a lot more valid.
And so if the husband fails to submit to Jesus on the throne, well then, again, the entire contract falls apart.
So
But
if the husband's an alcoholic, a drug addict.
yeah, I
for
mean, you have to use
example.
prudence. But yes, if the husband is repeatedly defying God's teaching or law, if he's being adulterous, if he's being abusive, then submission is violated because he's not submitting to Christ. That doesn't mean that the husband won't sin, but if he makes a pattern and a repeated defiant form of action.
Yep. Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's Clinton White here. So checking out these debates. Not practically not specifically like a debate or something, but like a podcast where Charlie Kirk was invited. Yeah. So should women submit to men? Guys, let's get into the video.
Interested about talking about is submissiveness. This is related to dating here. Nick, could you find that umbrella picture? And I'm curious, Charlie, if you kind of agree with this kind of, I guess, the biblical order of like a relationship. Nick, do you know what I'm talking about, that umbrella picture? So going around the table, starting with you, do you think when it comes to dating, women ought to be submissive to their partner?
Yes.
Okay.
Generally, men lead.
Men lead, women follow? Okay.
Generally.
To a degree.
To a degree?
No.
No?
Whatever works for the couple.
Okay.
I don't care.
Don't care?
If the man is deserving of it.
If he's deserving?
Depends.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, everyone is asking.
Nick, could you pull that photo up real quick? Okay, so you got Christ, husband,
I believe that.
wife, and you agree
Yes,
with-
but the key is that the husband must submit to Christ. That's important, is that if the husband fails to submit to Christ, then the wife no longer has to submit to the husband.
Oh.
I see.
That's the kicker that is not talked about.
See, I've never heard of that point when people talk about submissiveness. They always say you have to follow the husband as
Well,
the
it's not what the
husband.
scripture says. The scripture says that women submit to your husbands as husbands submit to Christ.
See, that's a lot more valid.
And so if the husband fails to submit to Jesus on the throne, well then, again, the entire contract falls apart.
So
But
if the husband's an alcoholic, a drug addict.
yeah, I
for
mean, you have to use
example.
prudence. But yes, if the husband is repeatedly defying God's teaching or law, if he's being adulterous, if he's being abusive, then submission is violated because he's not submitting to Christ. That doesn't mean that the husband won't sin, but if he makes a pattern and a repeated defiant form of action, then that would be that would violate that graphic and that scripture.
Isn't that one of also AA's thing, is submit yourself to Christ?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
right.
it's very important in AA to submit yourself.
AA is the most successful model to how to free people from addiction, and the reason, and they've tried to replicate it, is because in AA, it is a uniquely Christian or Judeo-Christian thing. They have to admit God.
I think when you're very down about yourself and down in your own life, it's very easy to accept God into your life. Otherwise, it's a lot harder for other people. But when you're experiencing something like addiction, it's a lot easier to bring God into.
Or accept a higher power. When
Yes.
you're down on yourself, it's like, oh, this is when I can accept a higher power, because you don't want to kind of blame yourself. You want to be like, oh,
Bring someone-
it's a bigger
Yes.
power that's happening.
But it works because they realize that there is a God, and it is not him. I'm not him, essentially. So that there's a higher power.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie Kirk is actually right. So your husband is not so he has to first of all be the man has to first of all be submissive to God before his wife can actually be submissive to him. But the whole argument thing, I don't think it has anything to do with inequality, as some people might actually see it. So I just see it as a form of respect, a form of respect and order, not necessarily inequality. Some feminists might come up and talk about stuff like this as it being a form of inequality. Yeah, so I mean, it's just based on respect for me. So yeah, I mean, these beliefs can actually be traditional, but it's actually important to check them out. They're actually important to society, bringing mutual respect to the relationship or whatever. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this, guys? Let me know down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.